Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If this is your very first time joining me, my name is Topaz and this is Makeup Hues and Views. In this particular video, I'm going to be doing a swatching as well as a try-on of the Huda Beauty Topaz Obsessions eyeshadow palette. Now, before this whole pandemic started, well, at the very beginning of the pandemic, I explained that I was going to be discontinuing my subscription boxes for a while and just shopping my stash that I have here at home, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. Now, I think this palette is a good, bright, cheerful one for the spring and the upcoming summer months that are coming, so I thought that would be perfect. Got on an orange colored shirt, thinking sunshine, thinking positive thoughts, sending that out to all of you. But first, let's go ahead and let me open up the palette for you. It is 9 colors in there. There are no names to them, so I'm just going to bring them up close so you can get a good look at it. I have worn this before. Obviously, it is my stash that I said I'm going to be using. And what I'm going to do now is take a moment and pause the video so I can put the swatches on and show you how they look. All right, the Huda Beauty Topaz Obsessions eyeshadow palette is a 9-pan mini palette that has a combination of matte as well as shimmery shades. I'm going to show you, it comes with a clear, kind of sticky to cover up the mirror, but not a separate clear attachment to cover up the shadows themselves. So I just keep that on there. It's very small, good size. Here, let me show you again the colors up close, and then I'll show you the swatching of how they look on my hand. So there you go. I'm going to bring my fist up side by side, and what I did is I applied all over my hand an eyeshadow primer, because I wanted this to behave as much as possible as the eyeshadow would look on your lid. Okay. One thing that I really like about this palette is that there is a dark shade here that's good for lining your eyes as well as doing corner of your eye, the outer corner. Of all the colors, the one right in the middle here seems to be somewhat ashy to say. Yeah, I'd say it's ashy. You do need to build up with the mattes, which really isn't a problem. Sometimes you don't want your eyeshadow to come on too strong, depending on if you're using it as a transition or just what time of the day you're going to be wearing the eyeshadow. So there is the look. Now I'm going to go ahead and just do a very basic day look with this so that you can see how this eyeshadow works on my lids, and also to address, because I have hooded eyes, I have extra fold on my skin, and I am approaching 45, so there is going to be that extra fold of skin in there, just to see how to handle that. So let's go ahead and do a demonstration. I'm going to go ahead, just looking for a mirror here. Okay, first I'm going to go ahead and start with the P. Louise Base Eyeshadow Primer. Okay, my eyelids, both my eyelids are primed. Eyeshadow primer is really important, whether it's you're using just a liquid concealer or you're using an actual primer like the one that I use today, because it provides an even base for the color to set on your eye. It allows the eyeshadow to pop. It gives something for the eyeshadow to grip onto your eye as well. I did put the primer on, and I did just a little clear translucent powder that I have as well. That was it. I'm going to go ahead and start this. I'm going to go in first with the dark color. Now, a trick for someone who has hooded eyes is your eyes will start to droop, that extra skin that moves around as you open and close your eyes. It gives a droopy impression depending on how you wear your eyeshadow, and you want to go against that. So even though you may be doing the windshield wiper motion, you don't want to be going so far down. I prefer to be going up, to be honest with you, in the upward direction instead. And I'm going to go ahead and start with this dark color in the corner here, because I want to, well, that's just the best way to make it pop, and then I'm going to build on it. So start with the dark color first, and I'm just going to put a little in the corner. I used a slanted eyeshadow brush, and I'm just going to go and move upwards, kind of upwards and out with it. This is a nice eyeshadow palette, I think, for women of color who have warm undertones. If you're someone who's considering buying this eyeshadow palette, then I'm going to go above the crease in my eye because I have that crease there, yes, but when I open my eye, it becomes folds of skin that get hidden away. So I go above the crease and I create my own separate crease instead. I'm going to go ahead and go on the other side and do the exact same thing. Remember, you're working upwards. I took this brush and I kind of flipped it upside down so that I have to work upwards with it. And that's exactly what I did, as I drew a line from the outer corner of my eye to that outer arch. I'm not going all the way up, but I'm going in that direction, okay? And instantly it kind of lifts my eye. Do the same thing on this eye. You're going to go on the outer of your crease. You're actually, if you're someone who has that fold that can get lost in there, whether it's through aging or it's just you have that extra skin, whatnot, you want to go above the crease. I'm going to take it, I'm just going to bring that in, smooth it out a little, so it's not so harsh of a line. Then I'm going to take and wipe that brush down. I'm next going to go in with this middle shade. I'd say it's kind of more of a transition shade right here. And I'm going to finish off the rest of my crease with that color. Now remember, I'm going above my crease, so I'm not actually going into my crease or else you won't see it. It's going to get engulfed by my eyelid itself, the extra skin. So move that in there. I'm going to take it a little bit higher than I had my very dark eyeshadow. I'm going to take it all the way in. So I'm still kind of doing the windshield washer, but remember, when you get towards your outer eye, you want to kind of stop at a certain mark. You don't want to go anywhere below. See where I have my pencil, my brush actually, not my pencil, my brush posted. You don't want to go past where the end of your eyebrow, and you can go a little bit more past, just a little bit more when you're blending it out, but you don't want to go too far down. You don't want to have that drooping action going on. I'll go ahead and do my other eye as well. Blend that color in. So now I've got a nice crease above where my natural crease in my eye is. Got a little bit of dark in the corner. I expanded that and brought some orange in there to try to be a nice transition color as well. Next, I'm going to go in. Now, as you do get older, one of the tricks is it's not always flattering to have these shimmery metallic colors all over your eye. I'm going to be careful with putting the shimmer. I don't do an entire eye of shimmer, especially for a daytime look anyway. So I'm going to go in, and I just really like this color. And I'm going to use a nice flat brush to get in there and to crease my eye. I'm pretty loyal to my brushes. I have a ton of them, but I seem to keep reaching for my favorites. I wash them and wash them and wash them and wash them. And I think this was a Bare Minerals brush that I got, but I can't even tell anymore. I've worn it. I've used it so much and worn it down. So I'm just going to go in, and first with the shimmer, I'm going to go and pat it down. I'm not using what you call like sparkle primer, where you put additional primer on and try to make it pop even more. That is an option you could do. You could add more of this primer, or there's other primer that's for shimmery that makes it pop even more. But I'm trying to be more of a day-to-day friendly look here. And I like how creamy that formula is. And it's pretty simple, you know? I like this. I don't like having to be with so many different colors. It's just 3 shades out of this 9 shade palette. I don't think we need to get too crazy, especially when you've got a life to live. You've got there's summer and spring coming, and even though right now, that is correct, we are, for the most part, depending on if you're watching this when I just released this, we are still in this pandemic, so we are practicing social distancing, and for the most part staying in the house unless you absolutely have to go out for, whether you're someone who has to go out for work like I do, or if you have to go out for groceries or for medications or gas or whatever, just for a few minutes. But the summer is coming, and there should be some relief soon. And that's just a very simple 3 color. I do a dark one in the corner. I use a mid shade to transition along my crease, which I actually do above my crease, and then I use a nice shimmery color on my eyelid. It's safe. I think that a lot of people with different skin colors can use that. Your dark may be lighter than what I consider dark. Your dark may need to be darker than what I consider dark, but you can stay with that formula and have a pretty basic day look. Now I'm going to go ahead and apply some eyeliner, but instead of using a liquid eyeliner, I'm going to be using, this is something I also received in a subscription box. This is the Natasha Denona Blackest Black eyeshadow, and it's one of my favorite things to do. You can use any really good quality dark eyeshadow. I actually could use, especially for a day look, I could use this dark crease color right here. And I'm going to wet the brush and use that to line my lids. Now this is I think that this is a great trick, especially, and I'm going to use some setting spray. Nothing with alcohol or menthol, because I'm not trying to burn my eyes, but I think this one has aloe in it, so. But it's a good trick for those of us whose eyes are starting to stretch out, or starting to, just with life, we have that extra skin there, and so it's not always the easiest thing to draw those perfect lines with liquid eyeliner. I think that this gives more room for error. You can kind of smudge that in, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then come back, put some mascara on too, and do my lipstick. Okay, so I've just finished lining my eyes with the Natasha Denona Blackest Black matte eyeshadow and a very petite wet brush. The main thing with the makeup is that I'm trying to make my eyes look as wide as possible. I want to highlight and bring forward the eyes and the lips and the cheeks, and minimize as much as possible the dark discoloration of the under eye circles, things that take away from your eyes, your lips, and your cheekbones. So all I'm going to do is take and apply my mascara. Now that I've done my eyes, I'm going to move on to my lips. Okay, last thing that I'm going to do before I set my makeup with the setting spray is do just some blush. Apply a little powder that I have here to set it, because I do have oily skin. That's it. I'm just going to use some Urban Decay All Nighter setting spray, and that's that. Okay, this is the final look. I have to say I personally do like the Huda Beauty Topaz Obsessions eyeshadow palette. I'm going to give it a good rating. Again, this purpose of this is not encouraging people to go out and shop, but if you are someone who is curious about this palette, curious about the look, that's what it is. I hope that you enjoyed this. If you did like it, if you can help me out by going ahead and rating this video, by giving it a thumbs up. If you like the video, if you think I could have done better, if you can give it a thumbs down. Either way, you're helping me out with this. And as always, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and better yet, hit the bell next to the subscribe button so that you're notified when my next video comes out. I hope you have a great day, a great week, a great month, a great year, and just overall a great life. Stay safe and be close to your loved ones.